What's up, Asian Nation? Welcome to Growing Up Asian, a friendly platform where high schoolers like us share our thoughts and experiences living in America as an Asian. I'm Chadwick.
I'm Sreekar.
I'm Sowmya.
And I'm Anjali.
So I know that we're wrapping up week 3 of our online school. How's it been for you guys?
It's
It's
been
been
pretty
just
good.
really easy. I've been getting hundreds in all my classes.
I feel like we have so much more time. It's much easier than actual school.
Yeah, especially considering how we have breaks in between classes and classes end early. I think what you start to realize when it's online school is how much time you actually end up wasting in school. Like you're basically getting the same amount of content and stuff and learning at least a decent amount. And my classes have lasted 30, 40 minutes, right? And then the rest of the time, she just logs off and then
It's just independent work,
exactly.
right? And then I love these sessions that we have of we're just playing video games with each other on house party. It's so fun. But then there's also the aspect where I miss regular school because then we get to see each other often and it's like a whole nother level.
Yeah, I really miss actually seeing people in person and actually being able to talk to them whenever I see them in the hallways or something. It's just not the same, just on house party or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the things that personally, I think being on house party and stuff like that, I mean, that's basically the same thing. But one of the biggest things I miss about school is sort of everything surrounding it, the athletics and the pep rallies and the this sounds kind of cheesy, but the school spirit, you got talking to friends and stuff like that. So that sort of whole element is kind of gone. You just wake up, you log into team, for us it's Microsoft Teams, you log in, you listen to her talk the whole time, you everyone has their mics muted, cameras off, right? For us it's not required. So you have that whole element of social interaction taken away. But we've been doing is in between classes we'll hop on house party and then talk for a little and then go to our next class and then do the same thing and play video games in between and stuff like that. So I think it's a lot more relaxed, but at the same time it's a lot of the what makes school fun, at least minus the academics, is kind of gone there.
You know what I really miss though? Robotics Club. Nothing can beat that. When it hits, when the bell rings, there's hordes of brown people and Asian people just outside the engineering room and just trying to just grind all day.
It's really nice because we're all a family and it doesn't feel weird, just with all of us doing it after school. It's it's normal and we're all used to it.
And then on top of that, I know Chadwick is an athlete, and he's kind of lost that whole element of waking up and going weightlifting. How's that been for you, Chadwick?
It's been really hard because I can't even go outside to gyms or anything, and I don't even have any equipment, so I just been trying my best, I guess.
Yeah, and for us, what actually happened is they moved back sports to November, right? So we don't have fall sports. We don't have it's no longer the fall, winter, spring thing. It's more of that like you start in November and then it's ends in or January. The games have been cut short. I'm sure this capacity, the student section where it's everyone's there and it's um cheering on the team, that whole element is going to be gone. So it's kind of sad to see how people. I mean, this whole year's just been different, but I think it's a good change. I guess sometimes it's a lot less stress. You got online school, and especially considering how grades are so inflated, because teachers don't really care as much if you're doing things wrong because they kind of have that leniency. So
I feel like it's much more comfortable as well because you have your bed in the same room. You could be on your bed while you're doing the work or you're eating. So it's much more comfortable while you're doing the work.
oh yeah, for sure.
Imagine the number of people that are actually just sleeping when the teacher's talking.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, there are a lot of people who would text me and they'll just be like, "Yo, what I missed? I was sleeping or something like that." It's
I
"Oh, I
am
slept
guilty
through."
of that. It's happened before.
Yeah, they just mark us present if we just log in and that's it.
You could just keep your computer on and then just be there. You could take a nap.
And
eat.
then even in the morning, you don't even have to wake up like an hour before and then get on the bus and then like sit there and stuff. It's like you get up and you
Yeah,
go to the
you
hot
have like
dog.
a whole
Yeah.
hour. You have that hour transition where you like get ready for school to just sleep.
Yeah, and especially like for us, like school starts like much later, and like it's like the same time class starts, but like you can do a lot less things and still be fine because you're not getting up and you're going and like getting ready and stuff like that. Like for me today, what I did is I had a test at 8:15, so I woke up at like or not 8:15, I think it was like 8. So I woke up at like 7:40, didn't take a shower until like after the test, and then just went and took a shower after I finished up the test. So it's like really flexible as to what you could do. It's not like you can just get up in the like after class and go take a shower and come back or like brush your teeth or whatever. So it's a lot more flexible that way.
Yeah, to be honest, I wasn't really sure about this online school idea, but like I actually like it. I'm not like too I'm not too against it anymore.
I'm not a big fan of it. I'm missing out on my senior year, and
I agree with Chadwick. Like, I mean, I am a sophomore, but like, I actually miss going to school and like talking to people. I miss hugging people. And we see like the three same faces every day. Like, yes, I like my family, but like, I kind of want to see other people like outside my house.
So Chadwick, you're a senior now, right? How has that been like doing online school and everything? How has it been for you?
it's like it's so confusing. Like I don't have that much work because like I'm a senior, but like it's still really hard because I have college apps and I have no clue what to do, especially since I'm a first generation uh, high schooler in my family that's going to college. So it's really different, and just this experience of quarantine and all just makes it worse.
Yeah, I think one of the things with like being like an immigrant, like your parents being an immigrant here, is that like you like they're not too familiar with like how applying to college works. So you're kind of lost, or like a lot of people end up being like lost, and like applying to college ends up being like this whole puzzle. And what makes it even worse now is that you have like you don't have counselors too much to guide you, and you have like occasional Zoom meetings and whatnot. But like other than that, it's really up to
Yeah,
you. And
even those Zoom meetings are like optional, and a lot of students they don't really even know about it because just how like how different this experience is.
yeah, and I've had a couple people like text me and they're like, "Oh, how does this work?" And I was surprised to say, like, I'm surprised to say that like a couple of the seniors didn't even know like the like college apps start like August and stuff like that, and they were like, "Wait, what? I thought that was like second semester." So it's like I feel like that whole element of not having school and then like applying to college and everything makes it a lot harder for you to like know what's going on, especially given the fact that like no one really knows how admissions are going to work this year. You have the University of California schools canceling SAT, like you can't like apply like with an SAT score or whatever. Like you have all these tests, like your test dates are getting canceled. I know a lot of people were like signed
Yeah,
up for
mine
the
got
SAT
canceled last
exam.
month.
Yeah,
It
I
was
got
it was
Exactly.
canceled
like
twice.
yeah, mine got canceled twice too. It's like 4 years just building up to this moment, and it just like taken away from you. It's like it's kind of different, and it's really uncomfortable because it just makes everything worse.
And then what makes it even worse is that like you don't even know how admissions are going to work this year. You don't know if they're going to like wait or like not really like you can have a general idea, but you're not really going to know. It's not going to be the same at all. Like everything's different. You don't know how things are going to work. So I think there's just a huge issue around like uncertainty this year.
Yeah, and like as an Asian like student, it's kind of different because our parents they don't know what this experience is like, and they're just putting a lot of pressure. Like it's they put pressure because they were put pressure on when they were back in India and like or Asia wherever it may be. But uh, it's kind of different now because we're not in that place where our parents grew up, where this is a totally different situation, and it's different because they don't know what we're going through and we don't know what they went through.
Yeah, I think it's really hard to empathize with people like students now because like we've never had a pandemic like where everyone stayed home and everything got canceled and like now you have online school. So I think now the like we're kind of leading with this together. So it's like you don't have like parents who are like, oh, I was in your situation like 15 years or like 30 years ago. I had this huge pandemic and we were stuck inside and I applied to college then. So it's like the lack of guidance is a huge issue. And then like not knowing like how it's going to work and like deadlines being pushed back, like tests being canceled, colleges going test optional, all that sort of stuff. Where like it's really crazy how it's been this year, especially for like a student. So, what do you guys think about how like COVID-19's impacted? Because I know we've talked about, like a lot about that. What do you guys think about how it's like going to impact college admissions, not only in that like in the context of like not knowing what to do, but rather like where you want to apply or like what you're going to do about that, sort of like how it's affected you, especially because Chadwick's applying to college now. So, what do you think about that, Chadwick?
There's been all those cases in North Carolina schools, um, and they've just been like getting like kicked out and sent back home. So it's like they don't know what they're dealing with, and a lot of them like they're not even like taking an initiative to try. They're just like leaving it up to the students, and I think it's wrong on them to do that. Like why even make students pay to live in dorms when they're just taking online school? Why not just let them stay at home?
And a lot of colleges have given them that choice, but like at the same time, your hands are tied. You want that, you know, you want like that whole college first year experience, but you can't also like you can't just what I mean? Like you can't just skip that college experience and because they still make you pay like tuition for online classes that you could easily just like look up online and it's like a free like you get like a free course of the same quality and then you're paying like what like 40K, some people 50K, even 70K to go to a college or like take an online class there. So it's like it's not the same element at all. And especially like since you guys were talking about how COVID-19's impacted it, it's like the issue is that like you have people who are like going to college and stuff like that, but at the same time they're not taking those precautions to like stay safe. And you have colleges' reputations taking a hit, like UNC. You have everyone making jokes, cracking jokes about that because they sent their kid like their students home. Same thing with NC State, and now University of South Carolina has like a bunch of cases in there, the first in the nation. So like it's kind of hurting the reputation of a lot of people because they're just not doing the right things to like be safe. So that's kind of something that's important to consider, I think.
Wait, so I have a question. I heard that they were giving back money to the people who chose to stay home. Are they actually doing that?
Well, I think it really depends on like the college. You know what I mean? Like some colleges are gonna like lower tuition and stuff like that. I've heard even an example of a college increasing tuition because of the huge change in like what I mean? Like they had to
Right,
switch.
I get that.
So it's crazy. And I don't know if you guys have seen this on like TikTok or something like that, but like the NYU food situation, that's crazy. Like they were locked in their rooms for like 3 weeks and they were fed like or at least I mean
That
this is
must
this
be
is based
awful.
yeah, they were fed like one of the like horrible food, like or at least what I saw. Like I can't really make a fair judgment because I don't go to NYU or anything, but like it's pretty funny to see how colleges are breaking down in like this pandemic and basically like the whole nation in general.
What do you guys think about seniors in college trying to get jobs?
You mean
That
like
must be really hard for them.
yeah, especially considering like now everything's up in the air with like grad school and how the job market's going to look like and everything like that. So it's I think that's something that's kind of weird because there's so much uncertainty about like the economy, job market, like career paths, all sorts of stuff.
So about career paths, how do you guys feel about like your parents' pressure, like what they want you to be and what you guys want to be? Like how do you feel about it?
Well, I don't know. I'm kind of like, obviously, there's those stereotypes how like brown people are going to be like engineers, doctors, but like, I guess living in America, it's a bit different than that. Like, obviously, those stereotypes are going to be there, but not every Asian person is going to be a doctor or an engineer or a computer engineer. They're not everyone's going to go into IT, but they're still my parents specifically, uh they don't want me to do like they don't tell me to do something. They just say do what you want, but if you're going to do it, you better be the best that you can be at it.
Yeah, I think that's a good mentality to have, especially like that's like good parenting because like like a lot of parents will like guide their kids to be like like go be a doctor because you get paid a lot and you have a lot of prestige and stuff like that. So like it's really superficial to like crush like what you want to be versus like because of like prestige or money and stuff like that. But like
Yeah.
there's an element of like parents actually caring about,
I feel like that's the big thing. Like they really care about like your reputation and like how much you're gonna be paid, but they don't really look at like if you're gonna enjoy it or not. Well, and obviously this doesn't apply to everyone. It depends on the parent, obviously, but like a lot of people I know, like they care more about like how others are gonna see you as and like how wealthy you're gonna be, how you're gonna live. That they don't really care about like if that's what you really want to do or not.
and I think probably one of the biggest things, like it's important to consider their perspective as well. And I'm not saying like forcing their kid to become a doctor is right or in any manner, but like I think it's mainly because like that's what's worked for them. Like they've gone and become engineers, doctors, lawyers, whatever, right? Their extended family also became engineers, doctors, because and like stuff like that, and like computer science, majored in computer science and whatnot. So like since it's worked for them, that's kind of what they like ask their children to do and stuff like that, because that's just what's worked for them. That's what's they think
I agree.
is.
I feel like they do have a reasonable perspective on it, but like they should also understand that like everyone's going to be different, so they should like respect their decision as well.
Yeah, I think here people do a whole lot better with that, because like, or at least like parents in America do a whole lot better than they do in like India and stuff, because in India it's almost like engineering is like the major thing. You got maybe IT, like computer science, and you got like like becoming a doctor, something like that. But here I think like slowly we're starting like parents have started to like understand there are like so many other things to do, and like so many other good career paths, especially considering how different it is here as far as like what career paths actually end up giving you, like, because from their perspective it's about money, reputation, and like mainly because like a lot of money means that their kids will likely be happy, maybe, like, because like to be frank, if you're doing a job that's like super lucrative, like 9 times out of 10 they're going to think you're living a happy life, right? So that's kind of.
Yeah, like my parents in India, they weren't really wealthy or anything. They weren't rich. So they kind of had that like growing up mentality that they gotta earn what they do. So they've just been like they've been trying to earn, and yeah, that's how they got there. So they have this mentality, and it's kind of they're just been like pushing it towards us, like me and my sister, and it's a bit different than what they think in India, but it's not India.
Yeah, like I have a friend who loves like helping other people and teaching, and she wants to be a teacher, but like, my mom or like other aunties that I know, they're just like, "Oh, that person's a teacher." Like that's so weird because they don't like get much money, but it's about the happiness for us. I feel like that's what our generation
Teachers
believes.
really do work hard. Like they deserve so much more than what they're getting.
Exactly. Like they work so hard to help us discover ourselves and help us discover where we want to go in life?
I think it's a matter of like, and you mentioned teachers, so I'll bring this up. And I think it's like a matter of like actually understanding that like the not like the lucrative careers or like the well respected careers aren't just like being a doctor, an engineer, as it may be in India. Because like, for example, teachers get paid a decent amount. Like if you think about it, if they're like, for example, a professor, right? If you end up being a professor at a college and it's like a decent like large college with like that's like well known or something like that, chances are you're being paid like a decent amount, like a really good amount actually. Like a lot of professors will be paid a ton. So like I think in the U.S. versus like India, it's so much different because like you can make a lot of money in like many career paths.
I wanted to be a firefighter for the longest time. I know it sounds so dumb, but like I've always had this like feeling to help other people and just like bring that into my career. But my mom, like I told her, I was like, "Mommy, I want to be a firefighter," and she laughed in my face. So yeah,
Yeah, for the
I
longest. Oh, sorry,
no, you're
cut you off.
good. I wanted to like take up engineering instead, just because of what she said. But you know,
Yeah, for the longest time, I remember it's so funny. Like I remember it now. Like my brother would like insist that he wanted to be an actor, right? Like he could act, he's gonna become an actor, all sorts of stuff, right? Like for like I think it was a solid like 6 or 7 years of his life. Like he was insistent on becoming an actor. And I remember like my parents would like joke about it like parties and stuff like that because it's like you know what I mean? Like it's so different from like the normal path and especially considering like how hard it is to become an actor and stuff like that. So it was like my parents would like joke about it and stuff like that. And now he's planning or at least like he's thinking about like other things like more conventional things like like pre-med or like he like I think he's gonna major in like bio or psychology or something like that. So it's like a little more conventional. And I think that aspect of it, like that whole like influence of parents like kind of changing your trajectory and like your career trajectory is like a major part of like a lot of I mean not just Indian people but like in general. You know what I mean? Like I mean not Indian like everyone, right? So I mean especially considering how different like the US is to like India, I think slowly we'll become like when we're parents and stuff. I think like eventually you'll see like people diversifying in like the careers they choose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's totally true because like it's again part of like the way we grew up because our kids are probably gonna hopefully stay here. They're gonna live the American dream. So they have our parenting style because we know what they're going to go through. So they have our experiences to base off of, and hopefully they can be successful.
I honestly think I'm gonna be like really strict just because I am kind of a lazy person and I just want my kids to do things without me.
Honestly, though, I feel that. Like, I'm really lazy, and then, like, procrastination with, like, school and all, like, it's really bad. But, like, as a parent, I don't know how strict I'd be. I don't know, I might be more, like, lenient with, like, what they wanna do and, like, how they're gonna do it and not be, like, super forced on, like, good grades and all, but, like, I want to see them trying, you know?
And I know we were talking about careers and stuff and how like a lot of them seem to like fall into like STEM. So I mean I think it's pretty funny because you see like Asians be so STEM focused from childhood. Like I know I'm obsessed with like math and science and like I obviously want to do something with math and science. And I think it's pretty interesting to see how like Asians end up like not Asians, like in general, like there's a huge trend towards like STEM focused people and like STEM focused careers. So I don't know, like that's something that's like kind of been instilled since childhood, in my opinion.
Yeah, I personally want to go into STEM. I originally thought I was going to be an aerospace engineer, and when I was in middle school, I was super into robotics, and I was new to that school, and that was like the first club I joined, and it turns out like I was pretty good at it. So I just kind of like thought I was gonna maybe go into robotics, and then I thought of going into programming, and then I thought of going into aerospace, and now I don't know what I'm gonna do. But I've always had that like STEM focus, I guess.
I honestly, I mean, now I've come to like math a little more and the engineering side a little more because I joined the engineering club and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool actually. But before I was like, I hate math. Like, I don't want to do this. And so I guess it is true. Like, you'll see what you want to do in high school, like what exactly you're more interested in.
For me, it's like the other way around. Like, I used to be good at math and like I used to love it because like it was easier and I understood it and like I could actually do it. But then now, like, I'm not saying I'm bad at math, I just am not really that good. And so I honestly hate math right now. Like, it's probably one of my hardest subjects. But like, career wise, I never really knew. Like, I kept switching from one thing to another. Like, when I was little, I wanted to be a doctor, but then like I don't know, I'm like really sensitive to like blood and like anything super like gruesome or anything. So I couldn't do that. So then I was like, okay, I'll be a teacher, but then like pay and stuff. So then I wanted to be like an architect or something. But then like now I really don't know, like probably like a psychologist or something. But I'm still like not sure.
I want to be an architect because, like, I'm interested in art and I'm also interested in math. I can't just say, oh, I want to be an artist. Also, I would get like remarks from the Indian community for being an artist, you know? So it is also very hard to look at a career path that you're interested in when you're interested in like music or like art. Do you know what I'm saying?
I
I
feel
think like a lot of people are quick to stereotype like you know what I mean like Indians are like good at math or like good at science or like smart in general. But like again, like Anjali is like a great artist. Like if anyone's seen her art that's listening to this, like you guys know that she's really good. So like I think it's for us like our generation tends to like break that whole stereotype of like Asians being like you know like super math and science focused. But at the same time, you still have a lot of people going into those fields. But that's just like with any race really.
Yeah, but also growing up Asian is like you have that stereotype on you, like pushed on you, but you're living in America. Like this is the land of opportunities. You can do anything you want to do. You don't have to stick to what your parents taught you or what your culture thinks of you. Just you be you.
But I feel like most people decide what they want when it's too late, you know, because they have all that pressure on from their parents and from everything else. And once you decide, oh, I can do it all on my own, it's too late, you know?
I feel like I agree with what you're saying. I feel like there's a lot of pressure because like right now we're in high school. Like we want to be able to like enjoy what we're doing, have fun in school, like people like parties, I guess, like keep up our social life, but we also have to do like what our parents want us to do. Like my parents, they don't really force me to do anything. Like they never told me you have to be a doctor, you have to be an engineer. But like I feel like they've just like put up an expectation. So like I have to kind of like follow what they want us to do. So balancing that out with like social life and like actually finding out what we want to do, like what makes us happy. I feel like that's really hard.
Yeah, that's so true. Like balancing your social life with your academic life and like thinking of my schedule, it's so hard to do even in this online like school thing. I still have so much work to do and it's so hard like talking to my friends every day, you know.
Yeah, and like the whole balance of like social like life and like academics and stuff like that, that kind of ties into like how people procrastinate so much, especially with like online learning. For me, I don't know, this year is kind of weird. Like I've been a little less of a procrastinator this year, but like I think it's still like, you know, like a plague, I think, if that's, you know, fair to say about like students in general. So it's
What,
gotten worse because
procrastinating?
yeah, for sure. Like you have like right now I think I have an assignment due at like 11:59 and I have not like haven't
Oh
started
yeah,
at all. So
same.
like it's a little bit harder especially considering like you kind of have to do it on your own. Like no one's going to like your teacher isn't going to be like, "All right, class, let's turn in this assignment today," or like whatever. You kind of have to like go on Canvas and turn it in yourself and stuff like that. So it's a lot more there's a lot more accountability, but at the same time, you have a lot more time.
I also don't like how everything is due at 11:59 on Friday. I just want to sit back and watch a movie, do something, and then just procrastinate till Sunday. I don't want to do everything on Friday.
Yeah, I mean now we have a long weekend, so that makes it a little easier. But
Yeah, this week's a long weekend. That's true.
And like we said before, uh, like our grades have been going up and like it's much easier, but I feel like we're not actually learning that much.
Like the independent part of it, it's really nice because it kind of prepares you for high school. I mean, not high school, college. Um, that college lifestyle where professors they don't follow you around telling you what to do. It's just you do it. Like you do what you want, and like if you fail, like no one's gonna feel bad. That's your fault.
and here it's like with online school, it's up to you how much you choose to learn and how much you don't. Because like if you wanted, you could skip all of class or like just turn on like sit there and like watch TikTok on your phone the whole time, as I've admittedly done for like a couple of my classes. But like I mean, I think it really just depends on how much you want to learn. But again, like the whole element of like, for example, like science classes, like you have labs that you're supposed to do, and you can't do those from home, right? You can't like do like you don't have the equipment to do them. You don't have like any of that to like actually learn how to do them. So like there's a lot of elements that are just kind of taken away, especially with like group work and stuff. Since like let's just say like you were supposed to do a group poster, right? Like how are you supposed to do that
Google
virtually.
Slides.
Yeah, as like a Google Slides at best, right? But like it takes a lot of stuff away from like the learning, I think.
Yeah. Like I have a friend who is taking an AP Science and she was, I mean, a lot of you are, and I'm sure that you guys know, like you guys are sad that you can't take the labs, you can't do it in person, and you can't like experience the same things that other AP Science students would have in the past.
Speaking of AP scores, what do you guys think about the AP exams last year? They were either really easy or really hard.
Yeah, I didn't even get to take my class. I mean, my test.
Why? What happened?
It was so unorganized. My teacher had no idea how to register, and so he just didn't register my whole class for it. And I was like,
Oh
wow, that,
yeah, I heard about that. AP Euro. You guys
yeah,
learn the whole semester and then the teacher ends up not signing you guys up, and obviously College Board decided to be dumb and
yeah. Like I emailed College Board. I called College Board, and I just got that music. It was good music, but not good. Like it wasted my time. It was sad.
yeah, I think too many people are familiar with hearing like the elevator music whenever you call a College Board.
College Board music is not that bad though. It's
Yeah,
nice.
it's catchy after a while, but then it just gets really boring because you're on the
True.
phone for like 30 minutes, and then they just tell you some vague answer, and you're like, I think especially this year. I mean, they've done like a lot of like that they could, because especially you have. I mean, no one's prepared for like a pandemic and how to deal with that. So like I think they get more hate than they deserve in that regard. Like, what are you supposed to do with AP exams? Like cancel them, do them online, like make them shorter, make them longer, whatever, right? But like I think they get a lot more hate than they deserve, and like everyone hates them. And I hate them too, but like at the same time, I think it's important to see like like not like no one's prepared for like a pandemic or how that's supposed to work. So like, is it fair to say that like they don't know what they're doing? Because obviously no one knows what they're doing. Even our president doesn't know what he's doing. All right, let's.
Okay, so I have a question, Chadwick, for college applications. So, like, I know that it's like a tradition for people to go to the colleges and get the tour and everything. How did that work for you this year?
It's been so confusing, honestly, because like I've attended like all the I have a certain college list, I guess, and I just been like doing like online visits, virtual visits. I don't know, like, but it's literally just an information session. Like, there's not that experience that you get when you enter a college campus. There's not the like independency of a student. Like you can't really talk to students and see like what the college is actually like. Like we don't know. We're just getting what the college wants us to think. Like they can tell us
Right.
that a college is like super good and like whatever, and all the students love it. But in reality, there might be like students that like hate the college or like they don't like professors or something like that. But we don't know that because we're missing out on that stuff.
The resources are there. Like, I mean, no one can deny that there are people who go to certain colleges that be willing to tell you about it and stuff like that. It's just that so few people know where to find them, how like what to do and stuff like that. So it's that manner, like it's that matter of like knowing exactly what you're supposed to do, because like generally like college admissions tend to be something where you already struggle enough to like understand it fully, but like now it's even worse because you don't even have like you can't go to the campus, you can't like get a feel for the campus and stuff like that. And like a lot of interviews have been canceled, and those are generally like one of the things where it's like you talk to an alumni, you get to know about the camp, like about the school and stuff like that. And it's kind of like a one-on-one conversation with someone who went to the school, has good ties with it and stuff like that, and you kind of just know a lot about it. But like those have been thrown off. By the way, Chadwick, have you had any of your interviews yet? Are they coming up? Do you know anything about that?
I honestly have no clue if interviews are still going. Like they haven't released any information for that for seniors at least, and like it's just really confusing again this whole process.
I feel like communication itself has been much harder because of this whole
Yeah,
pandemic
that's
and
true.
all.
Yeah, exactly. Like, even the Zoom meetings, like, are they one on one or are they just like people in groups?
Even for like Zoom meetings with like a college admissions officer, it's literally just like follow a script, and if anyone has questions, answer it, and that's it.
Mm.
It's so choreographed, and it's kind of awkward.
And I've attended like a couple of them, and I think I can attest to the fact that they give such like vague answers to everything. Like you can't get a student's perspective on this, like unless you were to like go to the student panel. Like only some colleges will have like the student panel information session where you can ask questions and stuff like that, and they'll give a little more detail about it. But like if you're asking a college admissions officer about like you know things that students can only answer, I think it's hard for you to learn like more like non academic side and like everything else, and like that whole part has just been thrown off because like every information session, what are they going to tell you? They're going to be like, oh, we have like a really good math department and stuff like that, and they're going to like talk a little about like academics and stuff like that because they're they're professors, they're college admissions officers. So like you're not really. I'm not going to say that I haven't like seen like student panels and stuff like that where students give their perspective on it, but like I think a lot of it's just thrown off because you're hearing it from a college admissions officer.
So Chadwick, where are you planning on going?
Um, I kind of want to go to NC State and Georgia Tech, but like it's either like the out of state tuition, like if that wasn't a factor, then it would be definitely be Georgia Tech. But like since it is a factor, and with COVID and like the prices and everything, it's kind of worse. So I think I might stick with NC State for now, but we'll see.
Yeah, I really hope it's not like this when it comes to mine and Sreekar's senior year. Like I hope
Or
this gets
even
a
my
little
freshman
better.
year in college, like that's a brand new experience, and like
Right.
I want to experience freshman year in college.
Hmm.
And honestly, I feel like nowadays there's so much competition, so everyone starts planning their future and career paths when they're like a freshman or sophomore in high school. It just makes me feel really behind with like this pandemic and all.
Yeah, and I feel like everyone feels behind to some capacity because of all the uncertainty that we have today, which is why it's important to like have conversations like this and like listen to conversations and podcasts like this because it makes you feel like you're not alone. And I hope you guys actually, listened to this whole thing and kind of took something from it because I think it's really valuable to hear perspectives from people who are experiencing similar things to you.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for listening, guys.
See you later, Asian Nation.
All right,
Bye,
bye.
guys.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Make sure to follow us on our Instagram and Spotify at Growing Up Asians and check out our website, which you can find in our Instagram page.